Welcome back to another episode of Becoming an Online Sales Queen. I am so excited for this because, as you can see, I've got a guest. I've got the lovely Beau with me, who I'm going to get to introduce herself in just a second. But before she does that, I just want to sort of set the scene for what this episode is all about. I've invited Beau to come and talk to us about what it means to be a mum in business, because I know that so many of our listeners are growing businesses, growing families, bringing up humans, trying to juggle all the things. And whilst it brings with it some difficulty sometimes and some struggles, it is absolutely possible to grow a thriving business and be a mum of many. Because I did not just invite any old mum to the show, I invited supermum to the show. So once you hear about Beau and her family and everything that she's got on her list, I know that you will agree with me. This is definitely supermum. So Beau, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you so much, Rach. Thank you so much for inviting me on. So, yes, I am Beau and I am the owner of She Leads Socials UK. And yes, I am a mum of four. I have a nearly 11-year-old daughter, and 7-year-old daughter, and twin boys who will be turning 3 on Valentine's Day. So
Wow.
it's full on.
That is full on.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, we have a lot going on. A lot of you who follow me will see that I share aspects of my life as a mum. I don't show absolutely everything because I like to keep some bits private. But yes, so the twin boys came very unexpectedly and they both have additional needs. So, along with being a mum, which I know is crazy at the best of times, we also have to deal with the boys' additional needs, which are so far apart from each other. We have Max, who has cerebral palsy, and we have Teddy, who is kind of peg fed in the evenings, and he also has cortisol deficiency. So lots and lots of drugs and hospital appointments and therapy and all of that going on.
Yeah, and that in itself would be so much for any woman to handle, but to handle two other children as well and grow a successful business. Well, I mean, it's no wonder that you won Mumpreneur of the Year. So tell us about that.
Yes, so that was a few years ago. I won Mumpreneur of the Year with the Kent Women in Business Awards, which is an amazing awards that celebrate women in business. They have just released the finalists for 2026 awards, and I am a finalist for Home-Based Business of the Year and Women's Champion of the Year.
Woohoo!
So exciting. We have the awards ceremony in March at the Ashford Hotel. So I'm so excited to go and just meet loads more women in business and hopefully come back with a win.
Yeah,
Be
come back with
lovely.
the gold. Is it gold? Like,
Yeah.
what is it?
I think it's like a big certificate, but I think they're doing maybe glass trophies this year, which is
Oh, how
lovely.
exciting!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to smash that. Absolutely. Like, why would you not win that? I mean, I'm sure there's
Oh,
going to be some other like incredible stories that you'll hear on the night. But
definitely.
yeah, well done you. Well done you. So tell us about She Leads Socials then. Like, who do you support with that? Like, how do you help women through that business?
So She Leads Socials had a complete rebrand back in September. A lot of people might know me as Elevate Management, and that had been me for around 6 years. Done well with it, exactly the same as what I'm doing now. So social media management, some business support, website design, and a little bit of virtual assistance as well.
Mhm.
And then in September, I just woke up one day and I thought Elevate just isn't working for me anymore. I want to be able to lead women into thinking that they can aspire to be business owners as well, especially who want to be business owners. They don't think they can be. And I thought, do you know what? She leads, and I quite like that. So it's just gone from there. So She Leads Socials UK is the brand. It's not going to be changing anymore. And it is all about kind of becoming that powerful woman that other people can look towards and really believe that they can run successful businesses and have their own businesses looked after by someone that just gets it done.
Yeah, I love it. I
Mm.
love that. It's part of my brand as well, to be that sort of beacon for mums who want to
Mhm.
make more money, you know, and build wealth at the same time as building a family. It is totally possible for us all to do it. But I do understand, because I hear it a lot, how that in anticipation of like, well, what's it going to be like? You know, I don't have a brand. Nobody knows who I am. I don't have a social platform. Like, I don't have a voice. You know, how am I going to build a business when I look on my Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever they're looking, and they see lots of other women building businesses that look a little bit like the one that they want to build, and they look like they're crushing it. Like, it's very easy for us to say, oh no, you know, get back in your box. You're never going to be able to do that. Look, you're
Yeah.
juggling kids and you've got all these things to do. But it is absolutely possible, absolutely possible. And like I was saying to you before we hit the record button, one of the big things that I'm really passionate about is when the mum hasn't even had baby yet. Like when the idea of becoming a mum whilst you have a business is so scary that it actually prevents pregnancy. That really like fills my cup. Like, I love supporting women to remodel their businesses, remodel the way that they make their revenue through their business, so that then, you know, getting pregnant, even trying to get pregnant, feels much more doable and much more calm and relaxing. Because we all know, you know, like when you're trying to have a baby, you know, like if you're all stressed out, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that really lights me up as well. So I'd love to like unpick all this with you. So
Yeah.
why don't we kick off with some of the things? So like, let's talk about some of the myths, some of the things that women, mums in particular, say to themselves that might prevent them from running a business, but that actually are not true at all.
I don't have time. That's
Mm,
probably the biggest one. And I think when I went on to your retreat with Kat last year and we had our hot seat coaching, that was one of the things. And I kind of used the excuse that my twins hold me back
mm,
because of the amount of appointments that I have to go to. But actually, it's more to do with time blocking. And I really, really learned that I don't have to be in two places at once. I have to be so strict with myself. And if you have got children or you're wanting to have children but still maintain a really good business, you have to be strict with your time. And
yeah,
that's a non-negotiable completely. It
yeah.
could be another thing could be I've been out of it for too long. I don't think I'm good enough. So
Mm,
having that imposter syndrome as well, like no one's going to hire me because I've been raising my children for 5, 6, 10 years, no matter how long you've been in it.
yeah,
Um, but you've got the skills. You've got the skills. You've
yeah.
been managing the school. You've been managing the WhatsApp groups, like everything, like getting the lunches done on time. Like they are skills that you
Mm,
can use in business as well. Like no one wants a lazy person in business or disorganized.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. There is a saying, isn't there? If you want to get something done, you know, like give it to a mum, because a mum
Yeah,
will always get stuff done,
yeah,
no matter
definitely.
what. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's actually really interesting, because like when we think about, you know, like business and motherhood, we tend to think about when, you know, when baby's born, you know, in the like the first 1 or 2 years. But you're absolutely right. Like, somebody could have taken like 10 years out to raise her family and then think, do you know what? I don't want to go back to employment, because
Mhm.
I love the fact that, you know, I don't have anybody managing my time right now. I get to choose. I've built my calendar around school runs and all the things. To then go back into a 9 to 5
Yeah,
feels very like the walls closing in, doesn't feel great.
yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. Like, to be out for 10 years and then recognize those transferable skills is absolutely critical, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I had Olivia, I went back to work 3 months after having her because I just thought that was a norm. I needed to make money. And then, so that was a 9 to 5 job. Then, when I was pregnant with Sophia, I did some bits from home when I was on maternity leave. And I asked them because so I worked at a plastic surgery clinic, which was my dream job, loved it, but they wouldn't allow me to go back part-time or hybrid. They said it couldn't be done. I wasn't patient facing. Um, so that's when 2018, I thought, do you know what? I can do this myself. Like I
Mm.
can do it. So I started doing virtual assistants on the side, sort of freelancing, being an associate for other people. really, really loved it. Then got into websites and then got into social media. And then lockdown happened.
Mm,
My husband's a decorator. He couldn't go into people's houses. My business absolutely took off because everyone was
yeah,
online. So
yeah.
I flew with that. That was absolutely amazing. But then came the time where I took so much on and I was pricing myself so low to get anyone that I was working past midnight, responding constantly, and I was just burnt out. And it just got way too much. And then we managed to hone it a bit and it was fine. Decided to go for baby number 3, 6-week scan, one head, one baby, absolutely fine. A singleton pregnancy, 12-week scan, 2 heads.
Two heads. I love it.
And you know, my first thought was, we need a bigger car. It
Yeah,
wasn't like
yeah.
that was my first thought. And so I didn't stop working. We had a very, very difficult pregnancy. One of the twins wasn't thriving at all. We went through the whole pregnancy, not telling many people, and having the worry that we were going to lose twin two, so Teddy,
Mm,
and we nearly lost him, and we nearly lost Max as well. And then, but I carried on working because that was kind of my release as well. That was my
yeah.
out. I needed to escape from the reality of what was going on in our personal life. Even when I had the boys, I had a C-section, it was an emergency, had them at 30 weeks. They went straight to intensive care. I got straight on my laptop in the
Did
hospital
you?
bed and
Did
I
you?
was working. Yeah. I needed just to escape. I couldn't have my husband there because he wasn't allowed to stay. Couldn't have the girls. So it was, what do I do? I can't sit here and just
It
mope.
works.
I'm just
Yeah,
going to work, just carry
yeah.
on. So I don't actually think I've taken any maternity leave since having the boys.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that, do you know what? That's the big difference, though, isn't it? When you run your own business, you're not doing it because you've got to. Because if you were employed and your employer said, "Oh, can you just go and deliver twins and then get your laptop out?" You'd be like, "Get
Yeah.
lost. That's not how it works."
Yeah.
But when it's your own business, you are that passionate and that excited and that committed
Mm,
that you don't even notice things like that because it's your little baby, like aside from
yeah.
the babies that you've just had, that's your little baby and you want to give it everything that you've got.
Yeah, definitely. And so then we had special care. Like Max was in for 2 months, Teddy was in 4 months. Then Max got diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Teddy's got cortisol deficiency, so he's got surgery next week as well. So I've already time blocked the diary, so I know what I'm doing then.
Mhm.
Clients know all about it. Um, and yeah, it's really, really difficult. But I always say to myself, I don't think I could ever be employed now because
Mm,
my children are my number one. And I want women to remember that your children are your number one. Your business should come second, whether
yeah,
you're employed, whether you're self-employed. But as long as you maintain that and you set boundaries in your contracts, whoever you speak to, and you have to stick with that.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I love my business and I love my clients. I love everyone I speak to. I love networking. It's just so amazing. And I have a very supportive husband as well. The girls are amazing with the boys. So
Mm.
it's teamwork is such a big factor in it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you that it's always, family first, always. And I find myself saying to clients a lot, like we're a human before we're a business owner,
Yeah.
like even when it comes down to them asking me questions about how they should handle contracts and T's and C's and people, like defaulting on payments and stuff like that. I always maintain we're a human before we're a business owner.
Hmm.
So it's like human first, mum life first, family first, then comes the business. And it shouldn't be any other way around. It should
Yeah.
always be that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And like talking about what you said earlier about, like I haven't got time and like helping the ladies that are listening to this to bust that own myth in their mind. Like there is always time, like there is always hours in the day. It just might be that you're spending them on something else. You're spending that time on something that maybe isn't as important to you. Or it might be that something that you're doing is taking longer than
Hmm.
it could. And so you might want to look for shortcuts or hiring help or get
Yeah.
support in some way. And like AI has been incredible for
Yeah.
that, for me, and the clients I support. Finding shortcuts through using AI has been great. Do you do that as well?
Definitely. Yeah, I love ChatGPT. I ask him anything. It's a
Yeah.
he. I ask him all everything. Like even personal stuff. Ask away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I think it is, I mean, time is the biggest factor. And I did used to. So if I had a day where I had a hospital appointment in the morning and maybe therapy in the afternoon, I'd be on the laptop in between those, like trying to get stuff done, but it would burn me out. So
Mm.
those days are your non-negotiable family time. And then the following day, if there's a nice big gap, that's when you book the work in. You don't have to be doing the exact same thing all the time because balance is a myth. And I don't think there is such thing as balance because you just have to give your time wisely to different aspects of your life.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I always say is we operate on a top three.
Mm.
So whether that's business or life, it's
Mhm.
if it's not in the top three, it doesn't get done. Like when it floats into the top three, because the top three things have been done or they're not important anymore. If something was to elevate up into the top three, great. But it doesn't matter whether that's a business thing or a personal thing.
Yeah,
You as a human can only cope with so many priorities. And
yeah,
I think three is like probably a good number. If you get up to seven, that would be my absolute limit from a psychological
yeah,
point of view. If there's more than seven things on your to-do list, you're absolutely setting yourself up to fail.
yeah,
Three, I find, is my absolute my sweet spot.
yeah, definitely. And like you have the seasons as well. So, I mean, I was speaking to my friend Kat, who you know very well, about it the other day. She's like, what have you got planned for January? And I was like, do you know what? Nothing. Nothing. I'm quite happy at the moment because for me, I see my year start of really pushing business from April because it's a new tax year. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of the time when businesses are thinking about their marketing budgets rather than
Mm-hmm.
in January when it's the whole tax return and corporation tax and everything like that. So I try to, like, December's nuts because of Christmas. January, everyone is just burnt out and worn out, and they don't want to be paying loads of money for brand new systems. So I try to work it so February, March, April, I will start getting those wheels in motion and really, really
Yeah.
focusing on my next big thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And one of the things I know you talk about is consistent content. So,
Hmm.
like, you've got a free guide, haven't you, that we're going
Yeah.
to pop into the show notes for the
Yeah.
show. So, tell us about the consistent content guide. What's that all about?
So I've got my perfect, I'd say, pillars of how to maintain consistency with your content, what content does well, different aspects for different business owners as well. So it's a whole generalized content system with some extra freebies inside, like templates, which I think
Uh-huh.
always
Cool.
very helpful.
We all
And
love a
prompt.
template.
Love a template. Lots of prompts as well. So just to make people's lives easier, but it is all about being consistent. I have had a client say to me, "Oh, I need to be posting 7 days a week." I was like, "But can you accommodate that in your diary with filming your videos? Because if you can't,
Yeah.
then go down to 3 or 4 times a week, and that's fine. Like it's absolutely fine. You don't, if you're posting 7 days a week, maybe for a month, and then you're burnt out, you then won't post for another couple of months, and that's not consistency. It's
Mm,
posting, say, 3 times a week consistently for a course of a year, and that's when the social media platforms will see that and be like, ah, she's got it going on. She's flying
yeah.
with her business.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and let's not forget, like none of our audiences or communities are counting our posts.
No.
So like nobody's keeping score anyway. So, I agree. You're better off doing three or four really good posts than
Hmm.
seven crappy ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if anybody listening to the show or if you're over on YouTube, and obviously if you are over on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I would love that. But in the show notes, you're going to find the link to Beau's content consistency guide with those extra freebies, which sounds amazing. So thank you for sharing that with us.
You're
Um,
welcome.
so what would you say then? Just kind of like trying to give some tips to people. If people right now are running a business and growing a family, there's already like little ones running around and they're juggling all the things. what would be like the top tips that you would give them right now, of things that they could do?
Okay, so Google Calendar,
Yeah.
put all your time blocks in there, including taking the kids to school, having family time, like everything. Be really, really anal about it.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do is chuck in ChatGPT what you've got going on for the next couple of weeks, and then export that and then import it straight into your calendar, and it will figure it out for you. So that's like a nice little hack that we can do. I use a system called Asana,
Mm-hmm.
but there's other ones, so Notion, Trello, anything like that. That's like a CRM system where you can delegate, you can input all of your tasks for your clients. You can do an approval process for your posts. And if you want to, so if you are a social media manager or someone when you have to put loads of posts out for different clients, then I like to use a system called Metrical,
Mm-hmm.
and that can post across every social media platform. A lot of people say that using outside uh, scheduling apps can affect the algorithm. I don't believe that. Metrical has always worked for me and it's
Mm-hmm.
been amazing. So I would definitely say time blocking, using your own sort of Asana type system as well, and taking some time out for you as well, just to relax and just refresh every now and again is so, so important. And also screenshot your wins.
Yeah.
Say, if ever I'm having a really down day, I just feel rubbish, I go back into my album of wins and I just read all the comments or the
Yeah.
reviews and
Love
stuff.
it.
It's just a nice pick me up.
Yeah, I love that. And all those systems that you mentioned, we use in my
Mm.
business as well. Like they're all great, great systems. The other additional system that I would add to that list, and this is kind of a bit more maybe advanced, but for somebody who is wanting to be very consistent with their content and wants to leverage multiple platforms, we use a system called repurpose.io. And
Okay.
what that does is we can set up like workflows. So every time I put a video on TikTok, it automatically goes on to like YouTube Shorts. If
Mhm.
we put a certain hashtag, it will know that that's one that we want to put on Instagram as well. And it will fire your content around to multiple platforms based on a set of rules that you give it. It's really,
Oh,
really good. It's a bit more expensive, you know,
yeah.
like as a platform. I think it's something like $350 for the year.
Yeah.
But when I looked at that and I weighed up how much time it would take my VA to take each post, to schedule it separately, to
Mm.
to learn what the rules are, it was a no-brainer. It was a
Wow,
no-brainer,
I like
really.
that.
Yeah, really, really good. And of course, the other thing that we do, and we're sat here now on the podcast, which goes on to all of the podcast platforms and goes on to YouTube. And within the platform that we create it on, we chop it up into little mini clips.
Yeah.
So I call that cascading. I call that like a content cascade, where you start off with one big long form piece of content, like a podcast or a YouTube video, and then you chop it up so that you end up with this cascade of
Yeah.
content that flows out of the big piece. So yeah, anybody listening to any of these tips, either get in touch with Beau. Like, what's your Instagram, Beau? What's your handle?
It's She Leads Socials UK.
Love it. Right. So you can ask Beau any questions. You can drop into my DMs. Like, there is absolutely no reason why anybody listening to this who's feeling stuck cannot move forward, because you've
Mm.
got two mums here with two thriving businesses that are ready to help you. So yeah, don't hold back, don't hold back.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for sharing your amazingness. And oh my
Thank
God,
you.
like, best of luck for those awards in March.
Thank you so much,
I
Ray.
hope you win them.
I
If I'm
know.
scrolling Instagram and I see a picture of you holding up like this award, I'll think back to this conversation and be like,
Definitely.
she nailed it. She nailed
Thank
it. So
you.
thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with us. For those of you listening, I'll put all Beau's details below this episode, including her freebie for you, the consistent content guide. Go and grab that. Do not miss it. If you forget to do it, you know that you will forget to come back to it. So do it now while it's fresh. And yeah, we'll see you next week for another episode of Becoming an Online Sales Queen.